Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for joining today's session. As we are continuing our journey understanding different roles, right? Yesterday we learned about project manager and product manager, right? Everybody with me? Yesterday we stopped at this, right? Trying to
Yes,
understand the
yes.
difference between product manager and project manager. And today we will learn the roles or responsibilities or outlook of these two roles, okay? That is product manager and product owner. So before we get started, let me just enlarge my screen for you. Is it readable now, guys? Can you read this? Read what is mentioned on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can start with the text first, and then we can go one by one, like one statement from product manager and one from product owner. Okay, go ahead. And I would really appreciate if everybody can speak up. Yeah, please start.
So the product manager role versus the product owner role, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
want to read the left-hand side of the table?
Yeah, we can start with the first statement, please, and then
Okay,
we can have one statement from product manager and the equivalent statement from product owner. One person can do that, and another
sure.
person will do the second round,
All right. So the product
second
manager or
statement.
product
Yes.
marketing manager studies the customer's wants and needs, whereas the product owner makes sure that product development is going as per the product roadmap. So it's basically a business function,
Okay.
right, where they need to understand what exactly they want from that specific product, right? So that's the
Mm-hmm.
role of a product manager.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll also thank you for reading it out. I'll also elaborate a little. See, as the name suggests, product manager. So, what it means is that that is a person who is managing that product on the easiest level. I mean, on the easiest explanation of this, a person who is managing the product can be a product manager, right? So, what do they do when we say they are managing the product? That means they are, in short, making sure that all the customer requirements, all of the customers and stakeholders' needs, all of their, I would say, aspects of their, I would say, likes or dislikes or their attributes to the product, they are mentioned or not, or they are getting developed or not, or they are getting integrated in the product or not. Okay, so their overall journey is focused only and only on product with respect to the stakeholder needs. Okay, but whereas when we say product owner, okay, now a product owner is a person who owns the overall process. When I say the overall process means in the entire Agile and Scrum implementation, okay, the overall product development. When I say development means not only development team working on coding and programming, but the entire phase, like when we have all the ceremonies, say first ceremony being sprint planning, then sprint, then daily, I would say stand-ups. The only thing is for daily stand-ups, product owners are not mandatory because we understand they are at a very higher level and they might be having multiple projects. So that is the only time that they are excused from, not being compulsorily involved into the stand-up meetings, but definitely all other ceremonies, starting with sprint planning, review, retrospective, all the ceremonies are incomplete without product owner. So here, what are we saying? The entire development phase, the entire start to end of a particular sprint, you know, requires or it asks for product owner's involvement. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, difference between product owner and product manager. And product manager is a term wherein a person who is, I would say, whole and soul responsible for that particular product's journey. Like, how we have taken example of Facebook or Microsoft, suite, I would say, journey, like how Word was so simple earlier, or PPT did not have these many features, or Excel was very simple around say 20 years back. So that journey, so there might be one person or maybe a dedicated team of few architects or few senior developers or few senior technical leads. They are dedicatedly, completely focusing on how to improve the product, how, what features to add on, what functionalities to add on, how they can ensure that the product grows well over the period of time. Yes. So do you realize the amount of time invested also? Yes. For a
Yes.
product to develop, for a product to develop slowly and gradually. See, it's not a overnight, I would say, journey. Okay. You would have to given some time, involve or invest that much efforts in the product so it can come out or it can develop pretty well. So it's like, honestly, it's like building your house, building your home, right? It's not an overnight journey. You have to give in some days, some months, decent amount of time, efforts, and then you see your output coming in. Whereas with product owner, we are concentrating on, I would say, on the overall execution, but that is being broken into small, small chunks of each sprint, right? So maybe 2 week sprint, 4 week sprints, and each sprints, we are focusing on the overall completion, right? So our focus is definitely on completion of the project, sorry, but then we are working at a sprint level. Everybody with me? So
Yes.
completion on on project level, that can be 6 months, 1 year, whatever the length and duration of the project. But our execution is on sprint level. Okay. So I think we have started on a detailed note about their comparison or differences. Now let's go to each point separately. Okay. So I'll request each person to read out one statement from product owner and one for product manager, and then we can go one by one. Yeah, please go ahead.
Product manager.
From the product manager, this
Ah,
role is all about the big picture for a product with the whole long term project in mind.
Yes, and how about product owner?
A role that looks at the smaller detail rather than the big picture, short term focus.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much for reading. That's what we just discussed, right? For product owner, it's about the journey of the product. It's about how the product is being developed for over the period of months, over the period of years, decades for that matter. Like applications like, there are uh, many products from Oracle. There are many financial products. Now, like how we use Jira, like that will come later, and how we use this. I mean, these are the classic examples, non-technical. MS Office Suite, entire like Excel, Word, Facebook, or even all the Google applications for that matter. If I have to compare them with product, how earlier Gmail was used to be very simple. Create mail, write mail, send mail, delete mail. That's it. But now, then later they got chat into Gmail. Now you have Google Drive access with Gmail, so you can access You can store your data into that. So slowly and there might be more features like labeling is there and whatnot, grouping is there. But that is the journey of a product, and it's not that uh, yesterday it was not there, today it's there, that is it. No, they are looking at a big picture. It's like how a product will be after 5 years, after 10 years. This is the journey. But whereas in product owner, it's a very specific time period, like this sprint, next sprint, this project. So this is very time bound. To try to understand the difference between their time durations of their overall work period. Okay, so that this is from the a time angle, I would say, duration of time they put in. The second point, please. Yeah, I'll
Product
request.
manager.
Sorry, give me a second. Yeah, I'll request all the 4 points. Four different people to read out, and then I will explain together. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Product manager, the vision of the product. Product owner, making product vision into an actionable backlog.
Product
Managing.
manager.
Sorry, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, product manager, customer understanding, product owner, advocate for the customer's needs.
Product managing, prioritize features. Product owner, highlight needs for the development of a team.
Product roadmap, backlog, epics, and user stories.
Yes. Sorry, I was on mute for a couple of minutes. So yes, thank you so much for reading it out. So what we have seen here is the difference in their focus area or the difference in their execution, right? So
Yes.
again, give me a second. Okay, so first and foremost, I think we have covered all the points. We'll just breeze through all that. So, product owner looking at the vision of the project. That's what we discussed, like after 5 years, where we stand, how the product will shape up, what features will have, how much market share this product will have. Whereas product owner's vision is into the actionable backlog. As we all know, backlog is a set of all the requirements which needs to be worked on. And when we say actionable means for these backlog items we have to act on now. We have to complete them now. We have to do them now. So that is the actionable backlog. Okay, next thing is customer understanding and advocate for the customer needs. So product manager, definitely they need to know what the customer is asking. They need to understand what the customer wants. They need to have a deeper understanding about how the customer requirements will affect the product. When I say affect the product means, imagine you have like a very simple example. Imagine your product is a cake, okay? A cake, a sweet item, a cake. And then
Yes.
you're going, imagine it as a product, okay? Just for some, I would say some reason I'm giving this example, so it should stuck to your mind. So imagine for a cake, what kind of decoration or what kind of ingredients go in that on as a sweet or as a dessert item in a cake. What kind of items will go in that? Like
Sweet.
sprinklers, choco chips. Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead. Is it a tough question, guys?
Sugar?
Yeah, sugar. I mean, as a decorative thing, what all things goes in that? All those choco pies, chocolate, whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Sprinklers, all these things
yeah.
goes in that as a decoration. Tomorrow, if the
Decoration.
customer says we want to put celery in it, okay, or
Mhm.
we want to put some spices in it, will
Yeah.
you allow that thing to happen as a product manager?
No.
No, absolutely not. Right. No, because you would say that is not the journey that my product is looking at, right? So, this is a very simple, or honestly speaking, a silly example just to make you understand that there are times when, by looking at the competition or by just not having the complete knowledge about their own product, customer may come up with some weird or I would say inappropriate requirements which might not fulfill your product's needs and which might not be definitely not suitable for your product. So as a product manager, we have to be very diligent, we have to be very particular, and we have to be definitely on top of our product. And trust me, guys, I'm not giving any hypothetical example. I personally, as a project manager, have experienced that only to beat the, I would say, competition, or only to try, only to look, I would say, different or be unique. Customer have these weird requirements which are definitely not conducive for the overall growth of the project as well as product. Okay, so that is why the product owner must have the vision of the product, whereas the product manager and product owner definitely looks at the actionable, like, okay, what are we working in this sprint, what we should complete in next sprint, and things like that. Okay, next point is customer understanding and advocate for customer needs. So yes, product manager, as we just discussed, they should know that what customer is asking, and there are times when you have to, I won't say correct, but you have to give direction to customer needs. We have to be very politely, I would say, uh, not blunt, but we have to be very polite and responsive to their requirements, stating this is appropriate, or this will work, or this is with the flow of the product, or this is not. Whereas advocate for customers needs means product owner is the person who arranges product backlog as per the customer need, as per the customer priority and customer order, right? We all, you guys remember product backlog, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I'll just. So this is our product backlog, right? In the form of list. Yes.
Yes.
Everybody with me? Yes.
Yes.
And what are
Yeah.
the two, I would say, features, main features of product backlog is, one is it is as per priority, and second is it is always ordered. So priority, everybody understands that it is highest priority item at the top, then the no lower priority, and the lowest priority item at the bottom. Whereas order means we should have a sequence of development. Like I always say, to check your bank account or to make money transfer, the first step that we have to do is log in into the system, right? Everybody with
Yes,
me?
yes,
Logging
yes.
into your banking system. Absolutely. So that is the order. There is an order in every product, every project, every execution. So that is what the, I would say, product owner's job to look at. Okay. Next point, prioritize features and highlight needs for the development of the team. So yes, product manager will always focus on what we should include in product, how we should develop that, how it should look. Whereas product owner, along with customers' need, they'll also, I would say, highlight the needs of the team. When I say highlight the needs of the team means, if team has any doubt, if team has any confusion, if team needs any further, I would say, explanation, then he is the person to go for most of the times. Okay, I'm not saying that every time we have to go to product owner only, but there are some challenges when team requires some extra details, or there is some negotiation that needs to happen, regarding the approach, regarding how to implement. In that scenario, definitely team would, look at or look up to product owner. And last but not the least, which we have already discussed, a product manager looks at or develops a product roadmap. We all know product roadmap. We have learned, right? We have this
Yeah.
Google road, and this is the road goes, and everybody
Yeah.
remembers what's the product roadmap. So you are here. So from your source to reach to destination, we use roadmap. The same way, this is a product roadmap when we are still here and you want to reach here. So how your journey should be, how your product should, develop. So this is a product roadmap. Whereas for product owner, it is all about what is the product backlog, what are the epics that we are working on, what are the requirements that customer have given, and how they are well, written in the form of user stories. So all this actual grassroots level execution is, I would say, managed. I'm not saying that it's done by, but that is managed by product owner. Whereas product manager, he lays down the path, or he gives the vision that, okay, this is how our product should grow. This is how our product should reach to this level. Yes, everybody with me, with me on this?
Yes.
Any doubts, guys? I know, see, these roles, they are all the roles of leadership. They are the roles to guide the entire team, but there is very minute change in their vision, in their capacity, in their planning. That's what we have to learn. Okay. Okay. So we are good. Then let's go to the next roles. Enlarge this page. Let me enlarge this page. So now, let us continue their understanding about how they are getting into their day-to-day work. Yes. So again, same pattern, one statement from product manager and one statement from product owner. Yes, go ahead. Anyone?
Strategically focused, and product owners tactically focused.
Yeah, let us go one point, one point.
Pro-
Yes. So yeah, give me a second. Let us go one by one. So we'll finish once we read it out. So what are we saying? One is a strategic planner, like, today we are here and then we have to work on a product like this. We should have these features. Then we'll have more customer, more market base, or whatever, more, I would say, enhancement to the product. So this is strategic thinking. We say, there are times when you say think strategically, so what should be a strategy for long-term execution, where you see yourself in next 5 years, things like that. So that is a strategic way. Whereas tactically focused means you have a situation in hand right now. The customer is asking for this requirement, but there are, I would say, roadblocks, or there are some certain limitations, and then that cannot be done. How would you manage that? So that is a tactic. And trust me, that is being used on daily basis. I mean, there are mostly challenges. I'm not saying that every day is a challenge, but then as we are working such a short period of time, definitely, you get challenges, and you face, I would say, roadblocks sometimes. But how do you manage that? That is a tactic that a product owner has to use. Okay. Next point, please. Anyone?
Product managers develop the business case of the product, and product owners clearly express the product backlog items.
This is similar to what we just learned in the earlier slide. So yes, product manager's role is to develop business. When we say business case, so you might have heard this word in maybe movies or web series, that whenever somebody comes in to pitch their product, there is some kickoff meeting or marketing meeting, they ask, what is your business case? Have you heard this word anywhere
Yes.
in television audience? Business case, just heard. I'm not saying you should be aware about it, but have you heard this word?
Yes.
Yes. So that is, so business case simply means you have to be very brief, very crisp, and very to the point about what business, what work you're doing, or what product uh, wo- you are working on, or you want to work on, in short. So whenever there are kickoff meetings or pitch meetings, you come up, you bring your business case, and to basically to market, to highlight that this is your product and this is how you want to do it, and this is your this is the features of the product and how it will look and what it will do and how beneficial it will be to develop this product and stuff like that. So that is the business case of the product. And whereas a product owner has to know the backlog items clearly. They should know what the customer is asking. They should know how well to manage those product backlog items. Yeah. Next point, please. Third point. Yes. Third point.
Product managers, be the expert on the product and customer. Product owners,
Mhm.
order backlog items to best achieve goals.
Yes. So a product owner is supposed to be expert into on that product, about their understanding. They should know it in and out. Whereas the expectation for product owner is order. No, we just learn. No, we already have this. So this is the ordering we discussed. So order the items as per the priority, as per the customer requirement, as per the development team's requirement, how it sinks in, how it will help our development journey, like which items to develop first, which item to develop later. So that is the ordering that we have to look at to achieve goals. When we say achieve goals, our goal is generally sprint goal. So they ensure that we are getting work properly, we are developing work right in a correct manner to achieve a sprint goal. Next point, please. That we have already discussed. Yes. This fourth point. Anyone?
Yeah, product manager, develop and maintain the roadmap. Product owner, optimize the value of the dev team's work.
Yes. So we just discussed this, that we are product manager is all about how the product will look at, how its journey is. So that is a product roadmap, right? Down the line, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, 1 year. Whereas product owner looks at optimizing the delivery value of their team. So whatever we are developing as a development team to the customer in every sprint, in each and every sprint, their value needs to be maximized. That work has to be of best quality. That work has to be best in class. That work, that deliverables or that sprint goal has to be as per the customer requirements. So that is what we're looking at. Next point.
Position the product and product owners ensure the backlog is visible and clear.
Yes. So when we are saying position the product means as per our product journey, after these 2 years, where the product should stand, what features the product should have, what functionality we should offer more, how to develop that functionality further, what innovation to do, what research we have to do. So that's why, you have to understand where the product fits, like which market, which customer base, so that is all quite simple. And I mean, as per the strategies we have laid down for the product, right? But whereas a product owner, it's like we have to ensure that product, what product backlog that has been created for this sprint, as per customer requirements, as per the customer needs, that has to be visible and clear. When we say clear, it is
Yes.
essential that Not only product owner is the person who is responsible and who is in charge of the product backlog. Okay, so just imagine that all your requirements are there only with the product owner. Okay, that is their area. But then as a team, as a executioner, as a development team member, you should know what is mentioned there. It should be visible, you should have access to it, right? So that is why product owners responsibilities to ensure that it is visible and even accessible to an extent. Yeah, last point.
Advocate for funding and manage
Mm-hmm.
budgets.
Yes, and product owner.
Show the Scrum team what to work on next.
Yes. So now here, even on the next steps and the responsibility point of view, we are saying that product manager has to also look at the funds or gather the funds or ensure that the continuous supply of finance is there as the product is being developed. As we said, then there will be research involved, innovation involved, a lot of new features, will be developed. So for all that, you would require a steady flow of funds, right? You would definitely require finance. So how that is possible? That is the role of product manager. So now reach out to your management, have the invoices in place, pitch in for your expenses or for your fund allocation, that okay, we require this much amount, we need to innovate, we need to capture the market, we need to expand. So whatever the strategy is, right? So again, this word strategy, that's why they need funds. Whereas product owners lookout is very straightforward. They have to know that, okay, we have completed this sprint. What are we looking at in the next sprint? How do we develop the next sprint? What are the backlog items that we need to take up? What is the priority of that? What the customer is asking? So they are like, if you ask me, they are very quick and they are very, I would say, on to the point and delivery focused. Whereas if I have to look at product manager, they are, I would say, product focused, if I have to call it that way. Product focused and delivery focused. Yeah. Any doubt in this? Some of the points were more or less a repetition of the earlier slides. So yeah. Any doubt in this, guys? No. Fine. So let us understand in summary. Is it readable? Is it big enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, two statements. Can I request two people? So by the way, the final thoughts are basically who decides what. So how do you decide which role you want? Do you want a product manager? Do you want a project manager? Or do you want a product owner? So to decide on which role is important for your project or which role is suitable for your work, how do we go ahead about it? Yes. So final thoughts, guys. Two people, two statements. Go ahead.
So it is going to be a product owner or product manager running the ship, right? Who is going to be the captain? So it all depends on the type of ship that needs to sell. Finding the right people and the correct skill mean you will have the right captain. Product manage owner and product manager are great assets to have, but the battle for final input must be made according to company needs, customer needs, and priorities. While defining product manager roles are important, you will always need to adapt. Let me make it a little simpler from my experience as well. So the product
Yes.
manager and the product owner, right? These two are different role. Product owner is generally reporting to product manager in the business hierarchy. Okay, and sometimes it happens that these two people can be same or can be two
Mm-hmm.
different folks as well. So it all depends on the size of the organization and how they are structured in terms of the organizational perspective. So but
Mm-hmm.
most likely in most scenarios these two will be the same roles, because in agile world where companies are trying to cut the expenses and everything, so they're trying to balance the people's role, and in many of roles of a product manager and product owner, they actually overlap, and it's very hard to distinguish between who is what.
Right.
So it's always better to have one person who can take care of from the business side and can work as the product owner and product manager. He can work with the technology team and other team and can guide the team to deliver what business actually wants.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Thank you so much for the explanation as well. So yes, these are interchangeable, interdependent, I would say, roles. So many a times one person wears multiple hats, but as per your setup, as per your need, as per your project or product's journey, we'll have to decide on it. Okay, so there is no hard and fast rule that you have to be if you are a project owner, you can't be a product owner, or you are a product manager, that means you can't be a project manager. No, these are interchangeable roles, but as per the journey, as per, if you're working on a product, then definitely you have to take responsibilities of a product manager, because that is what it is called for, the journey, the strategic thinking, the roadmap. But if you are working in a setup that is following Agile and Scrum, then definitely you are in the shoes of product owner, looking at the backlogs, setting up priorities, ensuring what the development team wants, completing stakeholders' requirements, giving values, giving delivery, valuable deliveries, and giving the best in the limited amount of time that you have, right? So this is what the final thoughts. So any doubts in this, guys? I know these, when you hear for the first time, it might be little confusing, but or maybe it might sound that okay, they all look similar to me, but yes, can a product owner also be a product manager? So the short answer is yes, and it can be vice versa, right? So once you know how to work on things, what is the role is calling for, what are the expectations from the role, you can fit in any role. So why this is important? Tomorrow, once submission, once the session or once the track gets over and you start preparing for the interviews, in that scenario, be open for any role, right? As you know what each and every role calls for, be open for any role. So yes, you can be available. Okay. Let me check with Gaurav. Okay, it's past my time. Gaurav, are you there? Hello? Yeah, Gaurav, you're on mute.
Yes, Prerna, I'm there. Just give me a moment. Just on
Okay,
few
no
seconds.
worries. So Gaurav will continue. Let us get started with this. So we are saying that before we get into further details, let's try to understand SDLC. Okay. So SDLC stands for Software Development Life Cycle. Okay. So this is a sample of a typical, simple, easy to understand life cycle. Okay. I mean, there can be.
I can take
You're
now.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead. Do you want me to stop share?
Yes, I can start my session.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Oh, great. Now that you have understood the difference between project manager, product owner, product manager as well. So let's start. Multiple times we have understood in the planning phase as well that we decide approach, right? We have been talking about approaches. Yes or no? Yesterday also we spoke about approach. Do you all remember?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So now what approach? How many approaches? So what to decide, what not to decide, on what ground we are going to decide. So everything is available over here, because the previous slide might have given you idea already. Let me share my screen. That reads as ownership details. Before we get into product ownership details, look at various SDLC. So SDLC, as Prerna had started sharing, what was that? What was the full form of it? I know
Software
everyone
development
knows.
lifecycle.
Yes, absolutely right. So we will look at from the various different angle that what exactly software development lifecycle brings, what all the approaches it is talking about. So look at it here. This is the sample one. So it says predictive lifecycle. It means in general, what you can predict when it comes to software delivery, starting from they check the feasibility, that whether what is feasible over here, then they get into the design, then they start building means coding, okay, then it gets tested, then they deploy to the customer, and then they go for the closer. This is the sample one. Okay, we will get to see also that how waterfall model, in fact this is the prediction, this is the representation of the waterfall as well. Okay, so waterfall flows in this way. So but same development life cycle will never change. Means when we are talking about development life cycle, it means that requirement gathering will have to happen. Okay, customer will give you the requirement. Why customer will give you the requirement? What do you think?
Develop the feature or the product or the system.
Yeah, because based on those requirement only the software will be built, right? Yeah, that's the reason customer has to give their requirement, their objective. And from requirement gathering, it will get into the documentation. Okay, if documentation happen, then from there it has to go into coding, or call it as a design. Okay, and then from there it has to go to testing, then it has to go to deployment, or deployment, then somewhere before even closer, it is support and maintenance has to be agreed upon. Okay, that after project gets over, few companies really want the support to happen. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is how it will go. So this was the typical example of the waterfall, what I shared with you all. Okay, now let me sip water. Okay, let's look at the another one. So what it reads, this reads as sample life cycle with an incremental development approach. Means when we say incremental, means there is always +1. So there is, when we say +1, means few modules are getting delivered. Okay, few modules are getting delivered. That's the reason we are calling it as incremental. If it is time box means start time and end time is defined. Then after end time, there will be one delivery has to go to the customer, and then again repeat with the new set of delivery with the new components. Those will combine and get delivered. Okay, so here concept means requirement has to be understood, plan, design, build, then deliver. When build happens, it means deliver. It means here what exactly is going on in the incremental development approach. Software is getting delivered, but large requirement in a piece by piece manner. Okay, a few pieces, a brick contains of the multiple components, and those got delivered. Again few integrated multiple components together getting delivered, again few multiple components integrated together are getting delivered. But they follow planning, designing, and building. In designing, building, before in designing itself, coding and testing will come. Okay, so those are the part of incremental development approach. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, great. Now, if you have understood, I have a question. Last time, did we complete the performance domain, everyone? Yes, no? 8 performance domain. Did we talk about that? Anyone remember?
Yes, yes.
Did we? Okay, fine. So before we continue with the life cycles further, what we are going to do is that we are quickly, have we talked about tailoring as well in as per PMBOK 7 earlier?
Yes.
Just okay, we have
Yes.
spoken about it. Fine, fantastic, not a problem. So let's move further. Okay. Now this is the life cycle again with the adaptive development approach. Why adaptive? Because certain time, as I told you yesterday when I was giving you the example, so approach gets decided depending upon the customer's feedback. How frequent customer wants to get connected with you all on what you are going to deliver, what their vision is, and how with the customer you guys have defined the project. You guys means product owner or project manager, or product manager has defined the project. So what exactly happens in this adaptive approach? In the last slide, you saw incremental approach, right? This was the incremental. Now this incremental, when it's repeating, it is called iteration. So after every iteration, or sorry, before every iteration, the feedback is received from the customer, and accordingly, backlog gets prioritized. What is backlog? Backlog is the set of the requirement which has been broken down into the high level of set of features. Those will become the backlog. Okay, so if I'll say if you'll go to any project management tool, what you can do is that when you create a project, the large project can be broken down into multiple requirement. Okay, so multiple requirements are on high level will be the features product owner is writing. Why? Because product owner in agile world owns the product backlog. Right with me so far? Yes,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Yeah. Initially, these backlogs might have gotten priority, but in iteration, what happens, depending upon the customer's feedback, what is coming to next iteration, that can be reprioritized, and that continues in the iteration until project gets finished, until customer gets its delivery. So because feedback is accepted, because based on the feedback, backlog is being prioritized, and that's the reason this iterative software delivery is called as adaptive development approach. With me so far?
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I had to go on silent. So let's continue further. Now. So here we are entering from here into Agile. Okay. Understanding Agile phases. So first you understand when we need to remember the phases of Agile. Where first it has to be conceptualized, concept has to be cleared, requirement has to be defined, and this conception phase is also known as scoping. Conception phase is also known as what?
Scoping.
Also known as what, everyone?
Scoping.
Scoping. What do we mean by this? Scoping means we define the scope, right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when the decision has been taken, then let's incept. Incept means you are just starting and then get into the resourcing. Resourcing means all the living, non-living resources will be defined, and they will be allocated wherever it is necessary to initiate the project. Okay. And then design happens. The third phase is called iterate or iteration. Okay, where all the designing part will be taken care, and then during the design itself, that after design, of course, testing is the integral part of this phase. It has to happen because together the team in the agile is called as what? In the agile team is called as what? Any idea?
Scrum team. Development
Okay,
team.
yeah, if it follows Scrum team, Scrum, it will be Scrum team, including product owner as well as the what his name, Scrum Master. But in simple way, if you will refer to the initial or latest Scrum expansion pack, then these are the product development. If you will only focus on the coders and all, okay, coders, business analyst and all, so these will be the product development team. Okay, so literally the name has been changed from developers to product developers. With me so far?
Yes.
Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when designing has happened, then it will get released. It means that the deployment happens, then it will go for maintenance, and then it will be called as retirement or reinventment or relaunch. Okay, so that you are get ready to for another increment or other iteration. Now let's understand, because you have known the phases, let's understand this bigger picture. Okay, let me convert into the this presentation phase. Okay, so what exactly it reads, that there is a community center life cycle. Okay, this is the community center life cycle, where it is defining from organization point of view. If it is organization reviews, they are startup. Okay, they define their planning, they review that, and from there the development starts happening. Okay, the development will include the testing. Okay, and they need to understand what all the milestone they are going to deliver. So here you see, this is the indicator of the milestone. Okay, so why community we are calling, because this development team together, or the team together, has formed a community, a tribe, where every team member belongs to, and that community defines that how the software has to be delivered. Okay, they come up with the various roadmap, assigning the timeline with them, and they will have the deployment plan. Okay, and then they will continue with those deliverable. These triangle are indicator of the deliverable deliveries. When the deliveries are happening, with the, you can see the name is written over here, name is mentioned as a release one for the website development, and then continue with the various offering. The offering, when gets over, then they go for the closure. This is the flow. Okay, but now when the development has started, uh, in the delivery, what all the planning and execution will take place. If you'll see, here it reads as senior service iteration. Means this is about the website. This is about the product they are going to develop and they are going to deliver. So this is one of the example for that. Senior service iteration, this is the website development plan. So there are multiple releases, release 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then once this iteration gets over with the 4 releases, then they have plan on the action patrol training increment, various other module for this development which is happening for this website. So that has to be taken care. So module 1, module 2, module 3, they are various names. So say for example, basic training will be taken care in the module 1, logistic training will be taken care in the module 2, and patrol training into module 3, and together it will be integrated. And then as a batch, okay, why I say batch, because Agile focuses delivery in the batches, and building in the batches and delivery on demand. Okay, or say delivery in the development in the batches and release on demand. Okay, and that's when you will see that in Agile world, things are getting integrated then deployed. It means that they are releasing based on the demand, what has come from customer. So always you can remember this when you are going to face any interview, that in Agile world, how the development happens. So development happens in the batches. Development happens in what?
Batches.
That's
Batches. And Agile has become so smart that they are ready to release the software on demand. Okay, so this is the concept which is also known as ROD. What is the full form of ROD as per you? What do you think?
Release on demand.
Yes, absolutely right. Release on demand. Okay, brilliant. Any questions so far related to phases and all? Yes, no?
No.
Have you understood the agile phases? And one example with the one site development, the flow is the same. Okay, nothing has changed specifically. Any question in this related to phases and all?
No.
All right, I'll take this silence as a no. Going back to the non-presentation mode so that we can go to the next one. Yeah. So after this, let's understand RUP. Okay, rational unified process. Okay, when we are talking about, so see, what we are learning here, what we are focusing here, various approaches. Okay, not one, two. See what happens. Many companies tweak the agile approaches, and they name it based on their organization or the way they want. Okay, RUP got famous through IBM. Who made famous RUP?
IBM.
Anyone here who has worked in IBM earlier? No? Okay. Not a problem. Let's understand what is RUP over here, a rational unified process. I would like to invite someone to read this indicator for me just below the bullet. Anyone?
Yeah, I can proceed.
Yeah.
What do you mean by rational unified process? A rational unified process is an approach for software engineering for delegating activities and responsibilities inside a software development organization. Its primary purpose is to enable the creation of high quality software that satisfies the end user's requirements within a predictable budget and time frame.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So even this definition has come from RUP. So they say that, okay, they are taking care of the quality, high quality software delivery that satisfy the end user's requirement with the predictable budget and time frame. In fact, the similar kind of definition you can lay out for the software development lifecycle as well. What is software development lifecycle? Software development lifecycle is an approach to deliver a high quality software with the defined timeline and budget with the end users expectation and satisfaction. Okay, so this is what software development life cycle. Exactly in the similar way, RUP is the software engineering. It means that this is also an approach. This is also an, what everyone? Approach. Okay, so even they have gotten the phases. Okay, one is inception. Inception means they are getting started. Then elaboration. Every product have multiple module, and every module will be elaborated to start getting construction on it. The construction get over, then they will transition. See, these phases, even if you will try to detect them, you will find if coding is happening, testing has to be there. Okay, quality check has to be there, because ultimately they are mentioning here that the high quality software. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So even though testing is not written separately, it means in the construction phase, testing is happening and then they will transition. See, approaches are similar, almost. Phases has been named differently in the various approaches. Even there is another software company, what's its name? BMC Software. Have you heard the name of the company?
Yes.
Yeah, even they have come up with their own approaches, their own life cycle. They have defined differently the phases name. So this is how IBM's RUP have defined. Now let's understand the Agile versus RUP. What is the difference? So Agile and unified process both aim to introduce transparency and visibility into the project management process. The biggest difference between them is that unified process focuses on structure, while Agile focuses on speed and flexibility. Understood? It means they are more structure oriented. RUP is more structure oriented. It means they are still abiding by some processes. Okay, still they are giving importance to the process. Okay, however, agile gives strength, or agile strengthen the approach, to which we may call it as an adaptive approach. What we may call it as? Which approach? Adaptive approach. Yes. Now let's understand now here, when we are talking about approach, okay, yeah, in fact BMC's example is given. We are talking about the approach. One approach comes with the various framework. It comes with various what?
Framework.
Now, because we are getting into understanding the framework, I want you to understand what exactly we mean by the framework. Who can tell me? And you are free to give me a better example. Even the 5 years old can understand. I'm ready to take the example like that. So yeah, while you are preparing, I'm expanding the first framework, which I'm going to explain. Okay, go ahead. Who can tell me what do we mean by framework, everyone?
Approach or methodology or a set of instructions that need to be followed.
Wait a second. There is some glitch in my system. Just allow me a few seconds. Yeah, can you speak up again, please? What did you say, Abhishek?
Yeah. It could be an approach or a methodology or a set of instructions that need to be followed in order to deliver a system software.
Okay. So approach, when we are talking approach or methodology, so these are the main focus area to which we are calling as software methodologies. But inside these methodology, I'm talking about the framework. So what do we mean by framework? The first, what you said is definitely is the approach. Approach is the methodology. Okay. Agile, waterfall. So these are the approaches. Inside that, frameworks are there. Okay. So how we are going to define the framework? Are you saying the framework are also approaches? Can you give me certain example other than software? Maybe you are there, what exactly you wanted to share. That might be right. But can you also give the example, Abhishek, or anyone?
So the
Yeah.
framework is actually, it is the environment in which certain things are happening. Say the simple example, if I say here, is the marriage. Okay. So the marriage, if it is happening in a framework of, say, the Christians, it will be a different one. If it is happening within the framework of Hindu marriage act, so that will be a different. Or if happening, in a different framework, say on the Muslim, then it will be a different one. So it's framework is nothing but the environment in which the same thing is happening. What is happening here? Marriage. But the framework is different. So that's why, the rituals and processes becomes a little different. But the end result remains same.
Great example. Right? Are you able to relate what Vikas said? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
So if we'll talk about frameworks, so in any software development approach, this will refer to the structure itself. Okay. And this will also help you to relate with the set of guidelines. Understood? So it means that in the framework, there will be a set of the guidelines. There will be the best practices to be followed. Okay. So as per the example of the marriage, every approach or every definition will say that you need to follow this. Okay. So they have their own best practices and they will have their own tools. Okay. If they want that certain tool to be specified, to be used to follow the guidelines, practices, and processes. Okay. Why? Because they are more focused towards building or delivering the project or product. Right? With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the reason frameworks generally outlines the processes and methodologies, processes in the methodologies. And you will find they too have their own set of the principle to be followed, and that to be on the consistent basis. They will make sure that framework helps you to become more efficient, and you are able to find the best quality in the development process. Okay, it means that structure, guideline, tools, best practices, efficiency, consistency, scalability in every framework is there or not. So that has to be there. Why I'm talking about scalability? If we talk about one framework, say for example, alone, this used to be the framework. Okay, not alone always. This used to be a framework. What its name? Scrum framework. This is the Scrum framework. Now, Scrum framework has been also scaled. Okay, so we are just not learning about this framework. So there is another framework as well, which we are going to look at it. That is scaled agile framework. So that is also in the part of framework. But here the Scrum was there. Scrum framework has been also scaled. They come up with the expansion, which will include the various other practices to be expanded to be for following. Okay, to be followed by the team. Okay, understood everyone? What is the methodology or approach? Okay, and what is the framework? Have you understood? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. If you understood now what we are looking at, this is a board. Okay. And this board is called as, anyone remember?
Kanban.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the Kanban board. Okay. Kanban board means come and see yourself. Okay. That's the Japanese term. So Kanban was first introduced or was used by Toyota, okay, in 1940. And in 1940, sorry, so Kanban was used in Toyota, but in 1940, the software industry adopted it, okay, from Toyota itself, and they made it available for software industry, and the name of this approach is called as Kanban. Kanban means what? Whatever you are going to build, okay, so there will be minimum 4 columns. How many columns?
4 columns.
Minimum 4 columns. Okay. To do, in progress, testing, and done. Okay.
Yeah.
But everything will start with the to do. Okay. And when things will start with the to do, okay, then there will be developers who will be picking, okay, the work, and they will be pulling it into their stack. They will be pulling into their own name. Okay. And that the task will become the part of in progress. Okay. Once the work is over, then testing team will pull whatever has been completed on their name to start testing it. And once it is done, then it will be moved into done. It's a physical board sometime where all the sticky note, what you see is here, will be fixed or adhered to the columns, and they will continue to move from left to right. From how they will move?
Left to right.
Left to right. Now, and this is called as Kanban board. So if you'll go into the automobile sector, or even if you'll take your vehicle to any garage, now even I don't know how it is there in US. If you'll go, they will have such sticky note and or some board on the board, okay, that they will define what all the bikes or vehicle has been assigned to whom and what they are working on to that, and they will continue to keep on moving. And in case it is not to be delivered to the client at their place, client when come back, they can see where exactly their vehicle is there, and from there they can pick up. Have you ever seen such a movement? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
You have seen? Okay, great. Now, here there is a where Kanban can applied. Okay. So Kanban can applied always on any existing system. Okay. Kanban can applied on any existing system. Okay. Or any existing framework which is already following, where there is lot of uncertainty and dependency is there Kanban can apply. Okay. If someone say, what is Kanban? So Kanban is a framework under Agile, which high quality oriented delivery approach, which works on the existing system, where there is more uncertainty and dependency, and Kanban can be also used for production support. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Production support means what? Where the software has been already delivered, now it is in maintenance phase and expecting multiple support. Okay, where the customer is also sending the approaches. It means that how many people will be working over here in Kanban? Multiple, can't say why, because Kanban works on the existing system. It means that if existing system have the 5 people working already, Kanban will be applied there. If 7 people are working, Kanban will be applied there. If 8 or 9 people are working, Kanban can be applied there. Kanban does not define its own system. Okay. Yeah. And depending upon whoever is working, based on that, we decide a limit. What we decide? Limit of what? Limit of the work. How much work in one lane one person can take. Say for example, if there are 3 developers working and 2 testers are working. Okay. So if there are 3 developers are working and 2 testers are working, okay, then if you are giving them 10 tasks to work upon, okay, or 50 tasks to work upon in a certain timeline, do you think it is easily possible for development team to work upon? 50 tasks in a certain timeline to be done by? No. And from there, the one concept came to which we call it as a WIP limit. What is the concept? WIP limit.
Work in progress.
Yeah. WIP limit means work in progress has to get a limit. Okay. So what is the formula? How the WIP limit can be established? Okay. How do you define a WIP limit? Any formula is there? Any idea to anyone? Okay. So WIP limit says that always have 1.5x work or 2x work. So this is universal. Okay. Always 1.5x or 2x works in any lane. Okay. It means that if three people are working, then when you are starting in Kanban, then you will apply WIP limit to make it 1.5x and maximum 4.5 up to 5 work they can take. Means 5 items they can pick to start working upon. Now, here there are 2 things. Okay. If there are, say for example, 1 team member, 2 team member, 3 team member, 4 team member, 5 team member. Okay. And here is the Scrum Master, say for example, or because we are talking about Kanban, so the Kanban owner is known as who manages the entire Kanban setup. He is known as Kanban practitioner. What is he known as? Kanban practitioner. Yeah. So what Kanban practitioner is doing that, he is picking the word and giving to this person, giving to this person, giving to this person, and giving to this person. Okay. So while he is giving to this guy, remaining guys are looking at it. Okay. It means there is a loss of time. Yes or no? Yes. Because he will be going and he will be also explaining what to be done, what not to be done. He will be also defining few scope and answering few query. That's number 1. Number 2, what is going to happen? This guy, Kanban practitioner, can give all the tasks to him telling that, okay, distribute amongst others. Now, even if this guy is distributing to this, and then this, and then this, and then this, everyone is getting disturbed, waiting for his command to be started. Again, there is a loss of time. Okay, mess up may happen. Okay, if I'll give you example, if I have a jar of small tennis ball, okay, when I'm throwing in the sky, asking everyone that, hey, pick your balls, okay, how easily it is possible that you will be picking it up? Throwing, and there are multiple such tasks in that jar, and entire jar I have tossed in the air and asking you to pick. There are lot many spillover may happen. Yes, many tasks will be spilled on the floor. Yes or no?
Yes.
Possible. Yeah. So when this approach is followed, this approach is always doing what? This guy is pushing the task on everyone. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you are pushing the task, means you are asking, you are giving the assignment, it is called as push-based mechanism. What it is called as?
Push.
Push. You are
Yeah.
pushing the task. But Kanban says that, hey, don't push. Okay. Make it pull-based. Pull-based means what? Let the team pull their task on their name and continue to deliver. Okay. So then Kanban supports what type of mechanism? Pull-based mechanism. Okay. Why? Because if I'm having jar, I'm asking everyone, hey, come one by one, just pull your task, go back. Okay. So everyone will be pulling, or I can keep the jar. I can instruct, okay, go ahead with your easiness, pull the tennis ball and start juggling. They will do that. There might not be any chaos, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Because everyone is taking care of everyone. There is a team synergy very high. Okay. And they will also see that they have followed WIP limit. That could be 1.5 to 2x. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So they are taking care of the best practices, and based on those best practices, they are taking the ownership and accountability of the delivery. Okay. So push-based mechanism is is followed by developers, and WIP limit is set. Kanban practitioner has to make sure it has been happened. Now, with the what happens, because it is applied on the existing system, this can also be applied on the Scrum, and that's when it is called as Scrum Bun.
No.
Okay. When you will apply Kanban on Scrum, it becomes Scrum Bun. Okay.
Yes.
With me so far? Now, as per the latest Scrum expansion pack, which was updated on in this month only, on 11th June. On what date?
11th June.
Yeah, 11 June 2025. So when it was updated, what I was to refer, I just slipped from my mind. Okay, 11 June 2025, Scrum expansion pack was introduced. So they added multiple thing into that. Okay, and what they say that every column will have their own done practices. It means developer will mark their work as done. Okay, then they don't need to assign. So what will have, there will be done criteria in progress. If development in progress, then development done will be another column, can be another column, and it can be created in Jira or Azure DevOps, like a project management tool. Likewise, testing will have the testing done. Okay. Likewise, so this has this particular next, which I am going to talk, it is not part of the Scrum expansion pack, but as a best practice, you can do that. If testing has been done, what you can do is that project manager, if it is applicable, or product owner is the applicable, or product manager is applicable, the component which has been tested can go for PO approval, product owner's approval. Okay. And once they will mark it as a done, then actually done will happen.
Yes.
With me so far? So now you will see, when in the Kanban, there will be the multiple columns other than these 4 columns. Okay.
Yes.
Now, sometimes because it is the this is the Kanban practice, what may happen is that So say for example, I'm going to recreate this one. Okay. So this is my Kanban board. Okay. This is my Kanban board. And here all those columns are there. Okay. To do, in progress, testing, and done. Okay. And what happens is that everyone is doing their own work. Now, all of a sudden, because you're working in the Scrum, you're working in the production support, what may happen, certain critical items comes in. Now, imagine there are the doctors, okay, and doctors are there in their health checkup. They are working in the hospital. They are treating various different patients. All of a sudden, certain critical cases comes in, okay. Critical cases comes in, then what doctors do, they assign the task to their junior sometime, and they rush to the critical cases, okay, because that's the emergency. Do you know this?
Yes.
Everyone rush towards the emergency.
Yes.
Likewise, whenever the critical case or critical items gets introduced in the Kanban, what happens is that whoever is working, developer, tester, okay, whoever is working, they will rush to those emergency ticket, and to which we call it as a swim lane. What we call it as?
Swim lane.
Swim lane. Okay. This is also called as what it is called as? This is also called as expedite lane. Okay. This is also called as expedite lane, where everything has to be expedited. Okay. And when you are able to see all those items on one board, it is also termed as IR. It means information radiator. With me so far? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is all the story of the Kanban, how Kanban is used. So I have detailed out based on the, because I think that I'll pick one the best and deliver the best into that. And that's how I have elaborated Kanban for you. Any questions so far?
No.
No? If no question, then is the next session what we are going to do. Apart from this Kanban, all the other frameworks are remaining, including the Scrum, Scrumban, Lean Management, Extreme Programming, and this BMC, pair programming. Okay, we will be talking about these more in detail. So mostly in the next session, we'll be talking about entire framework only. Any questions so far? If no question, one word that you retain in your mind will go back with. So I would like to hear from Abhishek. Abhishek, one word that you remember? Yes, I could not hear again.
Informative.
Informative. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, sir, what do you feel like saying? One word that remains in your mind?
It was good and
Aditi.
informative.
Informative. Okay, fine. Michael, what do you feel like saying? One word that remains in your mind? How you are finding, Michael? You are speaking on mute. Okay, we'll come back to you, Michael. So let's move to Ajibu. Ajibu, what do you feel like saying? One word that remains in your mind?
Yeah, it's detailed and impactful.
Detailed and impactful. Thank you so much. Because what do you feel like saying? One word that remains in your mind?
Interactive.
Interactive. Thank you so much, Vikas. Pritanjali, what do you feel like saying? One word that remains in your mind?
It's very detailed, Gaurav, and thank you so much because last class I couldn't able to attend the Kanban board class, so now I got a knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Pritanjali. Appreciate that you are able to get it. Let's hear from Suchita. Suchita, what do you feel like saying? One word that remains in your mind?
Detailed and knowledgeable.
Detailed and knowledgeable.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let me quickly check with Michael. Michael, are you able to understand? Understand, relate, connect. Michael, you there? Okay, so Michael, for you, quick request, continue to show up. Don't miss the classes. I know that you have started, but you are missing up sometime. You're not showing up. So continue to be that so that you don't will have such feeling of FOMO that you are missing out on something. Only for that you need to show up with everyone, and you need to speak up as well, right? Then you will feel more participative and you won't feel that you're missing out on anything. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Good night to you all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all. Thank you.